Hello students, I am Prasmita and today in this Python programming and data science, let us start with the third unit. So in third unit, we are going to learn about introduction to NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib. So in this, we are going to learn about EDA, means exploratory data analysis, data science life cycle, descriptive statistics, basic tools of EDA like plots, graphs, summary statistics, philosophy of EDA, data visualization, scatter plot, bar chart, histogram, box plot, heat maps, etc. So, what is data analysis? So, data analysis is the process of inspecting, cleaning, transforming and modeling the data to discover useful information for business decision making. So we will collect the data, we will clean the data and then transform it to the required format and then we will model the data so that we can get the useful information with which we can take a proper decision for business prosperous. So the steps for data analysis, data manipulation and data visualization are: first we have to transform the raw data into a desired format, then clean the transformed data. These two steps are crucial and which is also called as pre-processing of data. The next step is we have to create a model, prepare a model and then analyze the trends based on the model and make the decisions for business. So why do we need NumPy? Actually, we are having list in Python. NumPy is also a kind of list, but what is the difference between NumPy and Python list? So in Python list, you cannot do certain operations like you can't perform on all the elements of two different lists. For example, let us suppose we are having two lists. List 1 contains the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. List 2 contains the values 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 and 5. And we are trying to multiply list 1 values with list 2. Then it will give you an error message saying cannot multiply the sequence by non-integer of type list. That means operations cannot be applied on all the elements of two lists directly. So, to overcome this problem, NumPy is used. So, what is NumPy? So, NumPy stands for Numerical Python or Numeric Python. It is an open source module of Python that will provide you the fast mathematical and computations on arrays and matrices. So it provides essential multi-dimensional array-oriented computational facilities designed for high-level mathematical functions and scientific computations. So what are the uses of NumPy? This is the most important topic. So uses are to represent multi-dimensional arrays, we can use NumPy. So we can the methods for processing these arrays are available in NumPy. If you want to do element by element operations, which is not possible with the list, can be done using NumPy, which is the most important operation that we need many times. And also the mathematical operations like logical, Fourier transforms, shape manipulations, linear algebra and random number generation, these kind of operations are possible with NumPy. So there is an array class in NumPy which we will call it as NdArray. So elements in the NumPy arrays are accessed by using the square brackets and can be initialized by using the nested Python list. In NumPy, dimensions are called as access. So to use the NumPy, import the NumPy module into the program using the following statement. Import NumPy as NP. This is a user defined name, but most probably many will use this name. So once you have defined that NumPy, imported your NumPy, now we can create an array in NumPy in various methods. The first method is creating an array from the list. So example np.array, and here we are giving the two list 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 7, and we are going to print the array is created using passed list, and we are going to print the a values. Output will be like array created using passed list 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 7. So here you can see the comma, we are provided two lists and it will become a array. Next method is creating an array from the tuple. So here tuple means it will be enclosed in parenthesis. So np.array, and we are providing the parameter as a tuple. So after this we are going to print the values of b. So output will be array created using passed tuples are 1, 3, 2. If you see these square brackets, you can understand it is an array. The next one is creating a 3 by 4 array with all zeros. So here C is equals to np dot zeros. This is a method available in NumPy. So here you are providing the array size 3 by 4 array I want to create. So here we are providing the parameters as 3, 4, and we are calling the zeros method. So automatically C is an array which contains the values 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, because it is a 3 by 4 matrix. The next method, creating a constant value array of complex type. So here we are going to use a function called full, np.full. So here we are providing three parameters. The first one is the size of the matrix. We want to create a 3 by 3 matrix, and we want to store entire array values as 6, which is a complex data type. So after that all the array elements are initialized with a 0, and then we are going to print the values of d. So it contains 6 plus 0j because it is a complex data type. We expect this to be a complex data type. The next one, creating an array with random values. There is a function called random. Inside this random package there is one more function called random. There are many other functions available. For our particular array we want to use the random function inside a random function, and here we are providing what kind of a matrix or array we want to create. We want to create a 2 by 2 matrix. So E contains the actual data. So E is a 2 by 2 matrix which is having some random values. And then next one, create a sequence of integers from 0 to 30 with steps of 5. So for that we are going to use a function called arrange. So whenever you are using a function called arrange, it will be taking three parameters. The first one is the starting number, and the next one is a stop number. This is the interval, space interval in which you want to create a array. So it will be creating the values like, it will start from 0, interval is 5, so 0 plus 5 is 5, 5 plus 5 is 10, 10 plus 5 is 15, 15 plus 5 is 20, 20 plus 5 is 25, and it will discard this 30. So total these many number of elements are created in a sequential array. The next one, we want to create a sequence of 10 values in the range 0 to 5. So for this we are going to use a function called line space. So in this line space you are specifying the starting number, ending number, and you want 10 values to be created. So whenever you are using line space, it will be generating a sequence of numbers between certain spacing. So here if you observe, it is taking 0 from here to this number. Consecutive numbers will have 0.5 as an interval. So from here to here again 0.5, from here to here again 0.5. There is a equal intervals between the two consecutive numbers, and it will generate 10 values in the sequence. Now reshaping 3 by 4th array into 2 by 2 by 3 array. So for this we are using, first we are taking the values of 3 by 4th array, which is 1 2 3 4 5 2 4 2 1 2 0 1. Now we are using a function called reshape. Reshape function is used with this variable. So array dot reshape is what way we want to convert? 2 by 2 by 3 array. So this data will be stored into a new array, and we are printing the original array, which is 1 2 3 4 5 2 4 2 1 2 0 1, and then we are printing which is converted into 2 by 2 by 3 array into a new array, and this we are going to print. So it will be converted as 1 2 3, which is three columns. 4 5 2 second one, next 4 2 1, and then 2 0 1. So this is created as 2 by 2 by 3. Next one is flatten array. So here we have taken two lists 1 2 3 4 5 6, and then this array is stored in ARR. By using flatten function, we are going to create a new array called FLARR, and we are going to print both the arrays. So then automatically it is going to print the first array as 1 2 3 4 5 6, and the flatten array as single line 1 2 3 4 5 6. So now we will learn how to access array elements. So array indexing is same as accessing an array element. So array indexing is important for analyzing and manipulating the array objects. So NumPy provides three different ways for array indexing. The first one is slicing, second one is integer array indexing, third one Boolean array indexing. So first let us see what is slicing. So NumPy arrays can be sliced. So an arrays can be multi-dimensional. Specify slicing for each dimension of the array. So for example, here we have a multi-dimensional array. So we are using a slicing of the array. The first one says that first two rows of the array only we want to take, and the second one says that you want to take an alternative column of the given array. So first two rows means this row and this row only it is taking, and also it is taking only alternative numbers. So it will be like in this -1 and 0, and then in the second row it will be 4 and 6. Only these things will be sliced from the multi-dimensional array. Now coming to the integer array indexing. So lists are passed for indexing for each dimensions. So 1-to-1 mapping of corresponding elements is done to construct a new arbitrary array. For example, here we have taken an array. This is an array, and in this we are trying to access certain particular index elements. So in this we are specifying I want to access 0th row and 3rd column element. 0th row, 3rd column means here this is 0th row. In this 3rd column means 0, 1, 2, 3. That means 4 we want to access. And then we want to access 1, 2. 1, 2 means first row. First row, second element. 0, 1, 2 means 6 I want to access. So here 0, 3 we want. 0 means this is entire 0. Entire 0 location is this. This is 1. This is 2. And this one is 3. In this I want to access 3rd element. So 0 is 0 element, first element, second element and 3rd element. So I want to access this element. Similarly, I want to access first row, second column. So this is first row, and second column is 0, 1, 2. This one I want to access, and then I want to access second row, first element. So this is our second row. In this second row we want to access first element. This is 0th element, this is first element. So you want to access this element, and then we want to access 3 and 0 location. Third row, 0th element. That means this is the element we want to access, and these elements should be stored into a temporary array, and that temporary array we want to print. So we are getting the output as 4, 4, 6 and 0 and 3. So these are the elements we have created. Now Boolean array indexing. So this method is used to pick the elements from the array that satisfy some conditions. So here we are going to take one array which is having these elements, Now we are checking for the elements which are having greater than 0 values. This is the condition. So based on that condition, I want to store the array elements into a temporary variable. So what we are trying to do here is, in this array, so this is greater than 0. So this we are taking. This is also greater than 0, but not this one. This is equals to 0. This is minus 1, so it is not taken. So here it is taken, but it is not taken. This is taken, but this is not taken, because it is not satisfying the condition array element should greater than 0. So here it will be taken, but not this one. It will be taken, it is also taken. This will be taken, but not this one, because it is less than 0. This is taken, and this is also taken, and all these elements which are selected will be stored into temp. When you are printing temp, it will be getting the values of 2, 4, 4, 6, 2.6, 7, 8, 3, 4, 2.0. So these are the elements are stored into temp. So this is all for today's class. So in the next class we will see some more operations. Thank you. Have a nice time.